Does the chairman's but no, what's happening? Oh, is my time behind? Okay, my time is behind. Guys, apologies so much. I just had no electricity until now recently. So yeah, but I am here. I get YouTube is going to have to wait for a little bit later. It doesn't seem like we are running on that side, but it's okay. We are here. Let's see. Barker's not a bad coach. Marastelli's won't let him go. He has done well with that club, says Koti. Gavin Hunt is at the bottom of the log. Gavin Hunt is fired. I'm 100% sure, Pitso, just you watch. No, look, you're saying Pitso, and I don't dispute that maybe Pitso is the right person for the job. I don't dispute it. But what I'm saying is, can he work within Pirates' culture, right? Can he work? There's a certain type of coach that has a good time at Pirates, and that is, your Serbians, your quiet Spanish coaches that come in as plumbers. Everybody calls them plumbers, and then they kind of build towards that. Rivero doesn't make a noise. Rivero's not all over the news. He's not doing all of that stuff, right? Pitso could probably win at Pirates, but can you stand the reign of Pitso? Can you stand Pitso's reign and the noise and the controversies and the following and all of that that's going to follow? I don't think Pirates is built for that. Apolis choose to perform good today. Gavin Hunt, bottom of the log. I think they're going to bring in. Yeah, it's going to be another European coach. For me, that's what it's going to be. I think that makes sense. It's going to be another European coach. And then some random European guy that Pirates is going to scout. Are you going to allow Fadlu? Well, Fadlu wouldn't come back, actually. Fadlu is not going to go from being a head coach. He's not going to go from being a head coach to being somebody who doesn't get to pick his own teams and run his own club and do all of the things that he was doing previously. Hopefully not Pitso. I'm not happy Pitso can go into any other team except Chiefs as people. Pitso's too cocky. He won't play with the kids. Actually, that's a good point. Do you know what I'm worried about in the league? What I'm worried about in the league is that, if you want to see youth and you want to see them given a chance and you want to see them playing more, you're going to need to have a ton of coaches. A ton of coaches that are, how do I put it, that have job security. And now with Gavin Hunt being out of a job, with Eric Tinkler leaving Cape Town City, with Jose Rivero being one of the longer tenured coaches now leaving, with Abu Rulani being moved aside, the job in a PSL team becomes cutthroat. It becomes a job. It becomes, hey, I can't be experimenting and taking time. So with Rivero going and Abu Kevin being out, how many coaches will be willing to risk their jobs and play the kids? How many coaches are going to be willing to open up and say, okay, fine, we're going to be fine. We're going to make sure that the kids are okay and bring them on. That is my fear. That is my fear for our league in general now that Rivero Segahambil. Bobby said Nabi is here to stay at Chiefs. Bobby would say, we went through this. Yeah, we went through this. A coach raises their profile. A coach raises their profile and then leaves. That's what I saw. That's what I saw, but I don't know. And that's not allegedly, that's what he said. Benny is the same as Pitso. Benny is the same as Pitso. Do you guys consider Benny to be a Pirates great? Not a legend, but a Pirates great. Is Benny considered that to you guys? Pirates fans, please let me know there in the comments. Anyway, we're 13 minutes in. The game started very brightly. Chain having to make a save almost immediately as the game started. Pirates has had their own shots at Buire, but they are leaving it open a lot for Polokwane City to attack them. We are seeing the return of Utito. Let's see what type of impact he can have, because we were speaking about Utito during the games, during the week, saying that Utito yena, makaula epoxini. Makaula eboxini. Eh? Makula 10. Show boy. Makaula 10. If Apolis doesn't eat from that space, I don't know what they're doing. If Apolis does not eat from that space. Pitso is always complaining our style of play, says we move. Messi the Small says, Molefintseki must go to Pirates. But we move. Yeah, because he used to play for Pirates, so he can manage the team pretty well. Z wants Jurgen Klopp. Umisabu Klopp. Teams must wake up and get Pirates before get Pitso before Pirates. Hey, Prati, unaliti tabatsa 7 in the stadium that's in the background there. Van Rooyen is too high up. Van Rooyen is high up. Van Rooyen is high up. Makaula's adding on to the attacking numbers. I don't know, man. I don't know. One counter attack or Nimtemba Rangaga UTLP. Penny for me is good. It's good to get a team that fights relegation to number 2. Yeah, but it's the same profile of coach. So Pitso is loud and brash, confident, all of that stuff. But it also puts management under a ton of pressure. You know, Pitso wants everything to run well, and you need to give him the reins completely. Now, I know Abu Prastena Baseko, rest in peace. So maybe it might be a little bit different this time around, but I don't know if Pirates wants to do that. There's also that thing about local coaches. We don't take local coaches seriously, right? And unfortunately, for everything that Pitso has done, he's still a local coach. So I don't think Pitso would work there. I don't know if Penny would work there. You know, even the guys that did do well, I mean, Abu Ngazi, in my eyes, should have been given a proper chance at coaching, but just couldn't do it. Just couldn't, you know, trust them fully all the way. Ufadlo no mandla. So we'll see. Ufadlo no mandla, sorry. Oh yes. Play on. Look at where Van Rooyen is. And you know what's funny, guys? Football, very weirdly, you start seeing patterns across teams. You see the position that Van Rooyen finds himself in between the winger and the striker. It's the same thing that Nabi has been trying to do with Solomons, right? Coach Mangoba broke it down beautifully with Solomons. So, man, is this a trend that we're missing out on? Coaches in the comments, what do you guys say to this? Is this a pattern that we're seeing from football? From football that's telling us that now you have to do these things. Your right back must invert like this and do this and do this. Kia says it will be hard to find a coach for Pirates because they don't have a solid style of play like Sundowns. Kia. Pirates' play is so down, they even have archetypes. First example, what's the difference between Nkota and Mfukeng? If not small difference, but what's the difference between Nkota and Mfukeng and Lomchitu 3, Lomchitu number 3 and Saleh? What's the difference between, I'd say, an excellent Walaza and Kimang, who was on the wing, Gautrain, close to Khulel? Then in the middle, you've got Mbata, you've got a Makaula. What's the difference between that and a Jali? A Jali Manyisa, well, Manyisa a little bit, maybe more Tito-ish, but what's the difference? They've got archetypes in that team. So that's the thing. Pirates has that. Sundowns has changed a couple of times, has it not? But anyway, tell me guys in the comments. After this, the only coach suitable for Pirates is Rulani. Ooh, yes. Futu Rulani ki homeboy, man. Rulani ki homeboy, yes. Why didn't we think about Rulani? Pitso has full control of the club, so I think management of Pirates, I I don't think management of Pirates will consider him. Bonnie says Jose is leaving Paris because he's tired of using. I don't want to say anything. Bobby doesn't know anything about soccer. That's why he said Nabi must kill that team we love, says Umtelax. That space. Fly, so that space right in front of the defense. Can't wait for Chief to unveil Jose Rivera as the new coach next season. No, well, I asked about Coach Rivero. Not Coach Rivero, I asked about Coach Zinpower. Remember, he said his son, he needs to go back home to Germany, yada, 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 yada. Oh, chigi chigi nangu muntu usagase raja. Chigi chigi nangu muntu usagase raja. No problems, Raja, even though he left after that season. But no problems, Raj. Or maybe he coaches in 1 season. And Simbagulum Sind. Tim says they should go Rulani or they should give Rulani or Benny a chance. Who's gonna give them a chance, guys? Tina Spatem. We don't trust South Africans. We don't trust South Africans, especially we would rather trust a random European coach. Coach Jose Rivero came from Finland. He was coaching in Finland. We'll trust a random European coach over our own. So I don't know, eh? I saw Jose Rivero picture. I saw a picture of Jose Rivero in a river performing Muti. Guys. Theo says the coaches get tired of. Ay, man. I can't say those things. Hey, Natupa, man. Thank you, Alson Tabi, for the Just the Cat. Theo for the 2 roses. Koke for the GG. Guys, sendang the gift, man. Sendang the gift. Sendang. Tapping the screen. You know how it works. Very interactive, this show of mine. You'll be able to jump in at halftime. I'll bring 5 people on via the multi-guest feature on TikTok. And you can come speak to me and tell me what you are seeing from the game. And then once we're done with that, in the second half, if we can reach wow. Oh, Mfukeng, unlucky boy, unlucky. Miscontrol there by a Polokwane City player. Well, not even miscontrol. He tried to control it, it went straight through. We miss it. Mfukeng was making a run behind and he just couldn't get his foot around it properly, and it goes wide. So if we can get to 35,000 likes, I'll open multi-guest. Everybody will be able to come in and give me a minute or two of their thoughts of what is happening in the game and how they see what is going on. Apologies, guys, for the graphics. They're not all up because my electricity came back at 2:30. So I rushed to be back here so we could be all together, since I also missed the show yesterday for certain reasons. Okay, Virus can't afford Coach Rulani and his demands. I don't know. Pirates, guys, why do we think our teams are broke? Why do we think our teams are broke? Why do we think that certain teams can't afford certain things? I don't know. Richard says, I listen to you, Metro. So, thank you so much, Richard. Thank you so much, Richard. It's fine. Ki shoyak. Yeah? Ki. You'll hear it soon somewhere, maybe. Where did Chiefs get VV, by the way? Serbian, but I don't know where he was coaching at the time. Lack of control for Maravele. Why do we think our teams are... Kalifang, why do we think our teams are broke? Do you know what I always say? This is what I always say. Yeah, okay, they have the money. They just won't spend it. They have the money. I hear, for example, Chiefs fans, my fellow Chiefs fans, consistently telling me that Chiefs doesn't have money. And then I go, Mara, you've signed Boma 20 players in the last 3 years, or let's say 9 this year, 6 last year. You've signed so many players. Those are signing bonuses. Those are wages. Those are salaries. You fired coaches. Those are breach payments that you must make. You've done all of these things. And then you come back and tell me you don't have money. Our teams don't know how to spend money. That's the problem. Instead of taking 50 million and spending it in a direction, they take 50 million and spend it all over the place. Guys, don't believe the hype. What do you think of Baka and Pirates? No. I don't think Barker would be nice. I think Barker is a long-term coach. And I don't think Pirates is a long-term team. You need to be at the Stellenbosches where you can exert some control. You need to be at the Stellenbosches where you can bring in the team that you've had ever since and not be questioned. You get what I mean? It's a different pressure on a coach when you're coaching a Pirates, for example, because you're expected to do certain things, and there's also expectation from fans to bring in other people. Now, to be fair to the Pirates fans, they are one of the better fan groups in the country. They don't pressure the coach like that. They don't hold the team to the fire like that. But I don't know if that would be something Barker would want to do. I would love to see maybe a Gavin, if you could get him and some of those development coaches that side. If you get him and some of those development coaches from Supersport, you could maybe recreate some things. And he's always said that he wanted to take on a big job. Could have gotten us to the final of the CAF Champions League at Chiefs. So I don't know. No, you didn't miss a show. You were representing us. Thank you, Bongs. VV was people in Albania. We buy players free agents. No, Musa, but you still have to pay a signing fee. So what happens is a lot of the players come to a team and then they go, listen, I'm a free agent. You can't just give me my salary. That money that you're going to give to the other team, let's say my fee was going to be 20 million, right? Let's say. I'm paying 2 million as a signing bonus for the team, for me coming in as a free agent. So there's still money that is being rotated all the time. We bring in, whether it's free agents or not, outside of salaries and wages and that type of stuff. There's signing bonuses on top. Signing bonuses, signing fees, things like that. So you'd usually maybe waive it hanyani when you do a normal transfer, but you still have to pay a player something, usually. What's happening with Royal AM? There was meant to be a vote. There was a vote. So apparently the PSL Exco had put forth the idea that central defensive striker Mahopa, man. Walinka, udlala polo. Give me the ball. But then I'm ring, nigga wena man. They got up the side there, playing a 1-2 with Mahopa. That is what Mahopa's good at. If you want him to score tons of goals, you're gonna cry. But if you let him set up the other players, you'll be great. Anyway, the PSL Expo put forth the idea, I forgot what it's called, but they put forth the idea that Royal AM should be expelled. But now it has to go to the Board of Governors, and then it also has to go to the other teams. So there's 32 PSL teams, essentially, and all of them have a vote in some of these issues. So in some matters, you need to get all the voters to get in, or it goes to the Board of Governors, which is the representatives chosen from each of the clubs. To sit on a body that decides on things. So yeah, we're still waiting for what's going to happen there. Our teams have money, but not at the level where we have managers. Rather, we have head coaches. Do you know what the problem is, Mace? The problem is that in South Africa, a head coach is a head scout. The head coach is the head admin person. The head coach is the head trainer. The head coach is the head PR. The head coach is dealing with media. With us, we've made our coaches the most important things at the club. The good teams, the better teams, the teams that do well, everybody plays a role. The coach is in charge of this. Then there's a technical director, technical director, then there's a sporting director, then there's the head of academy, then there's the head of this. With us, we've basically rolled all those people into one. And when we lose a coach or we bring in a coach, we just chop off that part and we leave everything else as it is. So if you look at Mamelodi Sundowns' structure versus the Pirates or the Chiefs, there's a lot that goes on there. There's a lot. Meanwhile, coach comes in and they must decide everything. So that's the problem. We don't have the proper structures to do things well. Only Sundowns is willing to spend it, but Esquivel are getting huge salaries for nothing. He's going to be offloaded, that one, soon. Police is in the mood. He wants to win the game. I agree. Kota's doing so well with these runs. I hope the new coach will use him and not bench him. Coachy says, I'm definitely supporting Polokwane. Hey, I even forgot. Can you? I know Chiefs is busy. I know Chiefs is busy in a couple of hours' time. GNU, have you guys come together for this Pirates game? How are we feeling? Government of National Unity, MASA, the Mining Association of South Africa. How are you guys feeling? Head coach is the bus driver and the kit manager. Head coach is everything. Head coach is everything. Our Debs, I'd also play the same lineup all the time. I'd also say that Polokwane City made one change, I believe it was, but Lebona, they play the same lineup. Yeah, consistency, guys. Consistency. Ow. Pela Mahupa is in his home province. Ball. What a ball. But what is CBC doing there? What is CBC doing there? Okay, no, he's covered. I was about to say that, CBC. Very flowy, this defensive Pirates. They're interchanging quite a bit and covering each other, which is nice to see. But you get the sense that if Polokwane City can orchestrate a counter-attack well enough, they could get something from this game. Pirates must beat Polokwane because we need the CCC. Paul, who's we? Paul, who's we? And how much hope do you have? I have an idea, but I don't want to say it out loud. Who's we? Oh, Paul, you trust Kaizer Chiefs? Yo, guys, Kaizer Chiefs. You know what? No, let me not go there. Hi. My stress is coming at 7. I can't stress myself right now. The game is like ping pong, both teams attacking each other. Yeah, but Polokwane City has gone a little bit quiet. I'm thinking that they're waiting for some sort of counter-attack. I think Umapangule and Apolis could be sent on missions, the two of them, similar to how a Stellenbosch plays versus Pirates, or Stellenbosch used to play versus Pirates, with a Van Wyk and Reina's counter or Reina's Titus counter. Even this season, it's actually worked for them, countering a little bit wide and hitting them with pace. For a moment, I thought that was Jerome Damon. For a moment there, I thought it was Jerome Damon. I was like, oh, Jerome, no wheelie. Yeah, later. Hey, Tatud, as long as clubs cancel each other out and we win the remaining games, we sorted. Mara Paul. Wrote it. No, it's fine. If they lose, the league is gone. What if they draw? Because I could get a game in hand. Technically, when you look at the log, I get it when you look at the log with Pirates now. Technically, you look at this log and you go, Orlando Pirates, this is one of the games in hand they have over Sundowns, right? So if they were to win the 4 games, it would be 12 points added on, and they would go from 43 to 56 to potentially be 2 points behind Sundowns, which is all well and good on paper. But is Pirates going to be able to be consistent enough to run the last dance in a way that they can go and beat Sundowns? I don't know. Pirates slowing things because they create fouls a lot, make Polokwane City lose momentum. I'm an OT. I'm giving myself up. Okay. It's okay. I'll stop. I was just like, hope young. Okay, I just want to make sure. Oh, what's happening here? Hey, man, I did the wrong one. Kick off. Guys watching on YouTube, sorry. Oh no, it is the right one. Okay. Kupa man, Kambala akambale man. Ukambitsi versus Chiefs, wakambala mara. That's kambale with other people. That's what Pirates has to be looking out for. On YouTube, Victor Hobbs says Polokwane City must play the way Marumo Gallants played against Pirates. Let them have the ball and hit them on the counter. Continental Content says style of play is the difference. Sekhulela was running fast. Rulani would be a good coach. Rulani would be a good coach. Happening now. Okay, let's see. Zamini is giving me the typical South African player vibes, always promising no final product. Comfortable. He's comfortable. And it's, I don't know how to put it, man. Some people are just okay. You know, they don't need to get better. They don't need to do different things. But right. No, you should have played it inside. Van Rooyen was running inside. Nazo, Mwana Sesi. 34 minutes in, it is still 0-0. Both teams have been playing some great football, have been showing some attack, and the keepers have been on par. Buire and Shane have actually been great in this game. Shane, more specifically, has had a lot more dangerous balls that have been played towards his side. As we see Utalente Mbata taking a shot there that is saved by Buire one more time, even though it looked like it was going wide. Let's be honest. Whew, there's this space in the Pirates midfield, and nobody's attacking that space. If Pirates win all 4 games and Sundowns lose 1, they'll be 3 behind. Open says aware Eita. Enos says minya makhosi. Nyasminyela nathi. Was Nedbank 50-50. How are you doing, Michelle? Goti says, so did the PSL deduct points? No. The vote went, there was a vote, or there was meant to be a vote. We still have to hear the outcome of the vote. Now, if the vote is ratified and they do say they're kicking Royal M out, the expulsion would mean that they'd have to basically make the league as if there were only 15 teams playing this whole season. So whatever result you had versus Royal AM would be expunged. If you won 3-0, your 3 points would be deducted, 3 goals would be deducted from your goal difference. If you lost to Royal AM, 3 points would be added to your points difference, to your points, and then your goal difference, whatever the score was. So that is what they're working on, or that is what the recommendation put forth by the EXCO was. There isn't really a precedent for this in South African football. So I think they're trying to work as carefully as possible, but I think they have no other choice. There was a conversation about Umudli, who allegedly failed the SARS tests, the vetting, but then another story came out saying that they wanted to buy the team, but they didn't want to take on the debt of having to pay players like Bonakovic and all of those guys. Remember, we had this conversation when I said it's not as easy as possible. The status, the team, the debts. Yes, to SARS is probably one big thing, but to everybody else, all of those things are separate. And that was going to be the issue here. The status belongs to the PSL. So the PSL decides. The status is not a team. The status is a place within a league. At any point, it can be taken or given, it can be taken away by the league. The league can do a lot of things, right, with the place. But that often is what gives the teams the value, because you're signing a team that has a place in the PSL. Now, if you try to separate those things, say you don't care for the team, now what happens, especially now in the middle of the season? Earlier on, if the season has not started, if you're still in the registration times, it's far easier to do those things where you can buy the status and then do something with the team. So essentially, for example, Mamkize bought Celtic and its status, but then she sold the status to TTM, so they basically swapped. But now in this case, what happens? And then there's also other questions. End of the season, who gets relegated? How does the relegation work? When you promote one, if one team is now missing completely, you promote one team or 2 teams, you have to promote extra teams as the thing goes up. So there's a lot. Anyway, here comes Polokwane City on the attack. It's actually great to see Thingy back. Riding Baloi back. Not Baloi. Kimankana, right back, right wing. I mean, Kibaloi. Why am I getting mixed up? Anyway, it's good to see Baloi back. Up that. Oh, the shot went wide. Because we're having a conversation about the best right backs and left backs, and yeah, all you ever come up with Kibo Mudau. So you need some other people to step into those roles. I think I'm doing something. How is Arsenal doing? Didn't Arsenal win? Oh, they're running. Oh, 1-1. Sis. Come join my marathon of long walk. Bijay long walk. Yeah, leave me in my 30 points, please. Polokwane City, Dlamini number 7. Oh, you meant number 17, Polokwane City. Yeah. Arsenal is like Orlando Pirates. They just played 1-1. How much does Royal AM owe Nurkovic? Was it 15? It was one of those big numbers. Let me just check. Yeah, it's 15 million, Yaganikovic. So you'd have to take on that debt too. Oh, just over. Hey, a police. Guys, leave me alone, guys. This is a South African football show. Why are you telling me about Arsenal? Who supports Arsenal? Abanye abantu banethemba lokuthi uzoqhathwa amaqembu Golden Arrows. Arsenal and Orlando Pirates, same WhatsApp group. Interest will be added. It's 15 million City. Yeah, no, City's trying to cash Pirates out, heading into the critical phase of the game. For those who don't know, a critical phase is the first 5 to 10 minutes of a game, last 5 to 10 minutes of a half, first 5 to 10 minutes of the second half, last 5 to 10 minutes of the game, where people usually start losing their concentration because they're thinking of the change room, they're thinking that the job is done, and they open up and allow other people to get chances that maybe they wouldn't have gotten in a different place. So yeah, Polokwane City will win 1-0, says Koti. Pirates can't afford to have that. Not during the last dance. Not during the last dance. Yeah, Ukochi. If Pirates lose here, the league is gone. No, it's gone. OT, I agree, they say Chiefs and they blame Chiefs and Man United are the same WhatsApp group. Tim says Pirates will win. Guys, you didn't give me your score predictions. In the comments, what are the score predictions? Is Pirates winning this game? Is Pirates losing this game? What's going to happen? Tell me there in the comments. What's going to happen? Oh. Nagi bata ni score. Or better the corner now. Levato corner. No, there are going to be 7 corners in the game. Victor Hope says, just to go off topics, have you noticed that a lot of Pirates players never get to fulfill their potential because people blow smoke up their backsides too soon? Example, Walaza, Rakale, Kalinge, and Menzi Masug. Victor, here's a conversation. So, in a video that I did, and also on the other podcast, the MacG podcast, Onside the Banter League, I said that, a player like Mfukeng is at a very interesting place in his career. Do you stay at Pirates and become a legend, or a legend, a star? Aboloch were stars. Like you're saying, Bo Alaza and those guys, really great players who were stars who never took that next step. Do you go to Sundowns, where there is a track record of players coming in and improving in some respects? You think about your Modaus, you think about the development that Abo Ronwen have made. You think about Abo Tebza. great players at Supersport and could have been great South African players, but Sundowns are taking them over the hill, at least in South Africa. Do you go to Sundowns as Mfukeng, or do you go overseas where you're 20 and it's a little bit tougher for a 21-year-old to be going out into Europe and making a name for themselves and competing with some of these other kids? And people took it the wrong way in what I was saying, but it's a genuine question, because Mfukeng has enough talent right now and enough ability right now to be a lodge. Songs are written about you. You are a star player for Pirates. You know, for all intents and purposes, you've got everything you could ever need in South Africa. But he never went to the next level, similar to the players that you spoke about. So maybe that's another question I could ask for the comments. I could ask for the comments. How do you guys feel about that conversation then? Pirates will win 2-1, says Zex. Supersport Boy says 3-0, but it doesn't say who. Khoza says TS Galaxy will do the Lord's work. Are we Galaxy, man? Are we Galaxy? 2-1 Polokwane says Kosi for life. Montana. Brenna says 2-1 Pirates win. Bong says I win draw win for Pirates. Tando says 2-0. Paul says no, he has to stay Europe. They're going to change him. Njabulo Kiba says Zwane. Brenna says from Paris to Sundowns is not a development. Oh, okay. Mr. OT, once a player plays for Pirates, they must only look for greener pastures abroad, not Sundowns. And I hear you guys. I understand culturally within the country, that's how we feel. But for his career, what must happen? Okay, let's see. Man U, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, AC Milan, want Mfukeng. How old is Kobe Mainoo? Wait. Just to, I wanna show you something. Mainoo. Kobe Mainoo is 19. So this is what I mean when I say going overseas is tough. Kobe Mainoo is 19. Played for England, played in EPL. He's went through the development. He's what you might call a developed player. All of that stuff. Great. Ne? You take Mfukeng. Wonderful talent. But I think we can all agree that there's a little bit of development that needs to happen, maybe physically, mentally, sometimes positionally, and all of that stuff. If I'm a coach, if I'm a team that side, and I'm looking at the two, right? Unless he goes to some mid-table team or lower table team, I'm looking at the guys and I'm going, which one I'm going to take? And it's not a situation that has not happened before. Percy Tau, Brighton coach, looked at them and said, I'm going to bring in Leandro Trossard and take out Percy Tau. I know he didn't sign Percy Tau, but we also have to be honest when we look at those things. Now, could he go to a Romania and mess things up that side? Maybe. But then, do we need our 20-year-olds playing in Romania? Anyway, halftime is here. Let me just get my things right. Remember, I'm going to let 5 people in. Let's speak a little bit about the game that we saw just now that we're watching. So please feel free to request. Button at the bottom of the screen that says multi-guest. It's got a pink figure hugging a blue figure. Click on it, request, I let you in, and we can have a conversation about halftime. Then, of course, if we can reach 35,000 likes, I'll keep it open, and we can carry on talking throughout the second half, where you jump in and give me a minute or two of your thoughts, of your analysis of what you are seeing. But let's first start off with Aftermath Solomon. Welcome to the show, my brother. How are you? Aftermath Solomon. Okay, let me do this. Montana, can you hear me?
Ndiyakuva OT.
Okay, I see Zabuya Gu Solomon. Montana, first half, quiet first half, 0-0. The teams went back and forth. Utingaleke.
There's nothing much, man. OT Polokwane. Attack yayo and ulantu I think is trying too much police leg game. And it's too balanced park with midfielder because you can say ulantu kapa or Makehle pa. They
Yeah.
are not getting it easy nombatha. So Polokwane came with a game plan, but let's overload the midfield yethu. So they are not giving, and they saw weakest link phaa kula left kaMako. Uyabona the overload elaa cala kaMako phaa, but there are no real chances. Uphinde benguTetu apha phakathi. I'm not sure what is doing uTetu. I think at some games you need to change ilantuka igame yakho. You need to adapt according iteam ludlala naphi because bamjonge ngeliso khosi. Uphinde lastly ulantuka uMakgopa. I think this is not a Makgopa game. You need to Makgopa when you have a team like Sundowns or those teams that are gonna you have at least defenders. The team is playing a low block. You need at least a mobile striker.
Mara Montana,
So
can I
that's
ask
my
you?
own assessment.
Can I ask you, do you think that
Yes.
Makgopa and Tito can play together in the same team?
I certainly not. You need Mabasa when you have at least Tato because Makgopa is gonna drop. He likes to drop off on the wings, so which is Tito you close his places. When you have Tato, you need the striker that your typical striker is Mabasa ozawuhlala phaa, and then Orele can fit them. Those balls, you see those balls, they are playing those balls, and Makgopa is not there. Is not linking up nolantuka. No, midfielders zabo. They are doing too much. So kule game, this is not a Makgopa game. I was expecting at least Umabasa.
Let me bring in a Koke. I'm gonna come back. Let me bring in Koke. Koke, welcome to the show. How are you?
Ngiyabonga futhi uthi ngiyabonga greetings to everyone omamele nobukele man from konke indawo abasibheke kuzo.
That's the CAF.
Eish futhi ngifuna ukubuyela kule player leli ngikhulume ngalo ngicommente ngalo uDlamini number 17 we Polokwane City. uDlamini le game lena by now momela ukuthi iPolokwane City ya leader ngegoal lakhe.
Yeah.
I-run yakhe yokuqala even though the ball alitholile ibody yakhe mengamanga kahle. Yes waba offside ukuqala but ibody yakhe mengekho right. And then he got a second chance I think. Nakhona still you know that nto ngikhuluma ngayo ukuthi we've got a problem of South African players who are good but they never seem to actually give us the product. Uyapromisa akasinikeza ama product and you find ukuthi Polokwane City lose le game. And ubuza ucoach kuthiwa uxoshwe kanjani ucoach when iplayer lenza lento akazenzayo egroundini. You cannot come into such position and be wasteful njengoDlamini. It's frustrating. And then go to the actual game. I think ukuthi uRele is buzzing for Pirates. He is doing the things uyakhukha uRele lapha ku Pirates and ngiyambona noNkothe confidence yakhe iphakamile. Kancane kancane uyangena egamini uza kahle. Lapha phakathi ubabambele kamnandi uMakhehle Makhawula. Also the interesting part ngale game lena it's the first time uMbokazi adlala i-center back beyi-2 kuphela. Uye no Sibisi. And I'm seeing ama-links nyana they managed to get in a couple of times because in most cases bayawadeny ukuthi ama-opponent athola ama-chance akangaka. So I want to see ukuthi coach is it gonna finish the game ngale 2 center backs or he's gonna try and bring in another center back babe 3 emuva so that kube a little bit solid lapha kule ndawo leyana. No Apolis I think ukuthi Apolis is in the mood namhlanje. Yeah ngiyambona ukuthi uyazama umfana namhlanje uyazama ukuphusha but I think ukuthi disappoint uDlamini because udlala noDlamini kakhulu but uDlamini abamnikeza ibhola the final product ayiphumi. So ngizoyibamba lapho futhi.
Okay, I'm gonna come back. Khoza, welcome to the show. How are you?
Can't complain, man. I just came to declare the following with an Arsenal draw. You'll walk alone. We will take the league at the top. Sorry, wrong.
Ay, man, no.
Wrong stuff.
Man.
Look, I think the way Pirates is, and if anybody expected that Polokwane is going to try go pound for pound with Orlando Pirates, then means that we look at football differently. It was expected that they will pack the back. They're going to be strong in that defensive line and be able to look for a counter, and in that counter hope to be able to be clinical in it. Now they've gotten two clear chances that I've seen, and they have not used that. So the question then becomes, what can the coach find from that? Because when you then have a very defensive midfield from Pirates in terms of you've got Makaola, you've got talent, do you not maybe see an opportunity for a Dlamini who can be able to play you on the front foot? Because you're going to need somebody who's going to be able to play in that 8 position to be able, what do they open to make others come into play and be able to make the team tick? And because Polokwane are never going to come at you. So you don't need an extra defensive player. That's how I see the bench probably being the one that influences that and being able to say, once you then bring a Dlamini there, you bring in an extra attacking player who's going to then be able to say, can he put passes to Nkota? Can he be able to put a pass through to Rele? Or be able to then look at how do they feed the strike force? The next question then becomes, is Mahopa the guy to be able, because while he's very good at pressing, while he's very good at doing other things, it's not as if Polokwane City is playing out from the back. It's not as if they are leaving space behind them for you to be able to catch them. So you may need somebody like a Mabasa who's very good at in terms of being able to do what they out call the tap-ins and being able to move around those spaces. That's how I see Pirates being able to influence that, because Polokwane, no, they did not come with a double-decker bus. They came with buses that go to Limpopo, to Moria. All of them are parked there to be able to stop that.
So then, can I ask you, how much of this boils down to Tito's positioning? Because whenever we've seen Pirates do well with Makgopa, even early in the season, it's been a situation where Makgopa drops back in, obviously, like he normally does. And then, like you're saying, you see Dlamini and Nkota and Pukeng running past him almost. How much does the Tito factor and Tito and Makgopa factor work here?
The Tito factor works when the opposition is willing to come out and play.
Okay.
When the opposition is willing to say, we will meet you where you meet us and be able to attack you, then it creates those spaces. Because remember, if you are attacking, it means that you are now creating spaces between the lines.
Yeah.
Now, Polokwane City are very clear. We're not going to give you that space. So even if he drops, they just let him drop into the midfield, whereby the midfield defensive players will then deal with him and be able to see to him being able to be there. It's not whereby their last line of defense and their midfield, there's huge gaps between them and their midfield and their front line. I mean, I think Apolis has crossed over like, 3-4 times? Most of the plays happening in the Polokwane City half or the final third around the halfway line. So that factor does not come into being. It normally works very well when you've got teams that are willing to attack you, because it means that that defensive line then comes and be able to do that. But in this case, Polokwane City, they've packed all the buses that are bound to go to Moria there.
Whatever, we're gonna jump in. Let me go to aftermath Solomon. Solomon, hook on.
Yes, sir.
Are you good with
I'm
that?
good,
You
always,
back?
sir.
Okay, no, I'm
I'm
good.
back.
I'm
Sorry
good.
about that.
No stress, no stress. Tell me about this game.
Yeah, like, one thing I was excited about is to see this new energy of Nkota, how he's pushing and being aggressive a bit on the side. But I'm a bit disappointed about Masangai because I expect him to be more sort of like, in this situation, an intelligent midfielder. But he's always trying to overpush himself, overwork, because there are games. That's why last time I said, I wish Paris can get an intelligent midfielder. Somebody who, besides just attacking, can think, because Maswangai is still forcing himself to be the Maswangani we know, trying to penetrate by force. In this game, you can see the defense is so calm of Polokwane City. They are so calm and waiting for them to come.
Okay.
But like, I'm so in the middle, I'm looking at the substitute, I'm like, Pirates doesn't have an intelligent midfielder. Somebody like Allende, who can now say, we're going to attack with wisdom and intelligence. Now, I'm not going to, because you can see Relay is being overworking now. He has to come and try to find spaces he himself. While Masangari, I don't know what he's doing, actually. I'm sorry to be rude a bit. what is Masangani doing there? What is he trying to do? Now he's giving too much pressure on Relay. Relay now is playing out of position because of Masanga is not being able to be an intelligent midfielder. So at this point, they just need to put Masangai with respect and bring in Dlamini because it seems Mdlondlo doesn't want to, pull up his socks. He doesn't want to meet the level. And
Mara, we were complaining about Dlamini for all of these games coming up to this one. We were saying, right, Mara Dlamini Karaman, he doesn't give anything when he's on the pitch.
No, with the game plan that they were playing in Algeria, I understand. They needed people with experience because there it was we're going to intake the pressure. And we need people with experience when in taking the pressure. Right now, we need somebody who's going to release and make sure that, because you can see the team wants to play. The Batters, they want to play. The Van Rooyen, he's pushing, Civis coming down. You see these guys, they want to play. They just need somebody who's going to come and connect them. And he's got those intelligent passes, Lamine. But the last game, I saw that Pirates was absorbing the pressure. He was marking. For me, his marking was well until the coach realized, no, the team now is tired. We need somebody with speed. That is why, because he doesn't have the speed we're looking for. We just need the calmness of Khanye right now. Somebody who will be able to make the midfield of Pirates to be calm. So people can be able to play in that position. Because Masonga is making people play out of position. You can see Mahopa is running more into the left because, nobody's delivering those intelligent passes. Nobody's giving them the runs. That is why you see Van Rooyen is so deep because nobody's able to give them that freedom where they can be themselves. Because Masangai, for me, he's out of play. Today, for me, I respect him. There are games where you see he's needed. But on this game, I think Gamin will do better than Masangai because Mdlondlo, now when you're bringing him, he doesn't want to, I don't know, maybe it's the stage fright or I don't know. Because this was the time when Mdlondlo was supposed to come in.
For time about a champion, so I can just go back to everybody and ask you guys for two things. What are your changes for the second half that you foresee to be happening for either team? And what is your score prediction? So I'll start with Montana. Montana, what are your changes? Who would you change? What did you approach this game differently with? And what's your score prediction very quickly?
I would change. I would take out Lendwana Nkotha. I would base Mahopa on Kota's place and bring Mabasa per cent because Mahopa is gonna give that firepower. Kunonkota is not Mahopa is not a pushover, so that's why he excel when he drift on those wings. So I'll just change those two. Umbata and Makawula are still fine there. You just need the firepower and those combination. And I wish Ulomchita anga drifted too deep Ulanduka ambulance because by the time he got into dangerous position, he's tired because he likes to take a baller up deep, and then when he goes to when it matters most, he's tired. The ball is lost. So I would like him to stay up go 30 to up go 18 area receivers are
Maragithi Pirates ayisamfuni lapha Montana. The Pirates, they've tried to put Relay there and move him back. They've tried to put Nangumahopa Kona, says the good Letend and Ngamahopa most of the time Magakona. Man abambulala Tito.
Yeah, bayambulala because sometimes that's why I say sometimes you have to read the game. Not all the game you apply the same the same system, the same everything. You have to read the game because Ulanduka Ulomfana Ukambala ustrina that defense is not going forward. He hleli pha as I don't know as number 4. Double number 4 because not moving uhleli pha, so you need someone ofano at least create ilantuka let them umpress pha kubekho umuntu amakileyo pha anga relax pha receive ibhola yethu. So I think uTito would be perfect create ne fouls man kweza ndawo uyayibo. So I think
for time score prediction
I would give 1-1 okanye 1-0 to Pirates.
Okay,
nil.
Okay, mara uyazi ukuthi angithandi or mara
it's 1-0 to Mabakania. They will score that one goal. 1-0.
Okay. Changes that you'd look at in the second half. You've mentioned about Lamini. You've mentioned some things. What would you change and what's your score prediction?
Mina ngamdonsa uDlamini depending ukuthi how good ucoach amazinga khona. If iplayer akalijwayele ukuthi maybe uqala igame kanje second half improve, and then ngamhlalisa egamini just to check around 65 minutes ukuthi usenza kanjani, is he giving us something or not. If not, and then there's someone that's better benchini, ngifaka yena ngidonsa uDlamini kule side le Polokwane City. And then I'll try to be Polokwane City to be restrictive a little bit ngizama ukuthi babuye, because I can see they are being coached a little bit, because bayaya phambili baya defender, but mabaya phambili ababuyi in time. So I'll try ukuthi ngilungise leyo part le ukuthi babuye in time. And then beside le Orlando Pirates, I'll encourage uTito ukuthi Tito ngicela ungenzele ama third man run. Try ukuthi ungabambi ibhola kakhulu, libambe ulirelease, and then try that third man run, lento dume ngayo third man run into the box. We saw uRela yenza la third man run, yafluka ibhola defender almost uRela wakora. It was a third man run from uRela. I'll encourage uTito ukuthi Tito okay libambe udlale ngalo nama defender, but remember ngifuna third man run ukuthi uzokwazi ukora, uzokwazi ucreate goal. And definitely I'll go for uMabasa, ngimkhiphe uMakgopa kule game. Ngiyabonga.
Okay. Score prediction. Score.
Izowina iPirates lana 2-0.
Okay. Poza, what changes did you make for the second half, and what's your score prediction?
One thing that, and I don't think maybe Mapagania may be seeing things the same way as I do. I would take off Paseka Marco and put in Hoto, because Marco is not giving you anything in terms of moving forward.
Okay.
You know that Hoto gives you a lot in terms of an engine, in terms of moving forward. He creates an extra man, and he's also been able to unlock defense because he forces an extra player there, whereas Marco has not played in that space up front. I know somebody said they would take off Ngota for... If you take off Ngota as a Sundowns supporter, I say please do, so that... Because Ngota is more deadlier than Makgopa. I have more concerns when Ngota is on the field rather than when Makgopa is on. Because when you look at the goals up to the season, they haven't given you that many goals. I would take off Makgopa and put on Mabas. And then take off Marco and put on Hoto. Because Hoto's movement forward, he's able to drop back and be able to move forward. Otherwise, the score as it is, I like. And I hope there can be a counter from Polokwane City, and they still won, and they make sure that the gap between number 1 and 2 is maintained. But if the changes are made as I said, Pirates would win 1-0.
Sounds like Uminze. Hey, Masa. Can't holding number, but it's fine.
It has to be. It has to be. You cannot allow the enemy to progress.
No, Poza. Let me round this off with Aftermath Solomon. What changes do you make, and then what's your score prediction?
I'll like maybe after 60 take out Masangai, and when the game progress also take out Makaula to rest him for Tuesday, and then for score I see Pirates 1-0.
Okay. No, guys, thank you so much.
No, I was saying we need to rest some player. We must remember we've got another important game on Tuesday, so we need to rest Hoto.
There's no time to rest. No, you must die in the next 10 games.
Here's the thing, and I think Horesta Batu is a danger. You need to play the games that are ahead of you as they are. Because if you then say you're resting for Tuesday, what guarantees do you have from Tuesday? Play each game, you can rest players afterwards. And as a parting shot from me, I see that Chipa and Golden Arrows are still not. I hope Golden Arrows can win so that others can move from number 8 to number 9 purely on goal difference.
Solomon, just finish your point there.
No, look, already we've got 1-0 to protect on Tuesday. So that is what I'm saying. Already in this game, I don't see the danger of Polokwane City that much. As I said, we just need somebody who's going to be creative and score 1 goal, because they are relying on Apolis trying to create spaces for Apolis. So if we can lock Apolis, we don't have to panic about them. So I don't sense any danger. I know when it comes to long ball, they've got that advantage most of the time. When it comes to free kick and corners, I know that's one of the advantages. But at this point, they're not a threat. So we don't need to panic. The only thing, we just need somebody who's going to be intelligent to read the game from the bench. When he comes in, he just know his position, and we're going to win it 1-0.
Okay. Thank you to the panel that joined me at halftime. The 5 guys that were able to come in and analyze this game with me. Guys, if we can make it to 35,000 likes, I'll keep it open. I saw a couple of people there in the comments saying that, no, man, Libana, they want to add their 2 cents and also speak about what's happening in the game. 35,000 likes. Then the whole second half, I'll let everybody who wants to come in jump in and give me a minute or two of what they're thinking of. This is an incredibly open game. This is an incredible opening game. And if Pirates is going to win, shot there just wide. If Pirates is going to win, Pirates is going to win because Polokwane City is not going to be able to keep up this intensity of game for the whole game. Already, you can see them sitting down a little bit. If I'm Polokwane City right now, I think you have to conserve some energy a little bit and make sure that when you get the ball, try and go out as quickly as possible and take advantage of the certain spaces that Pirates has. If you see Pirates at times gets a little bit too excited, Abo Van Royen up front. Makula was in the box. He had a shot that went wide. Well, shot-ish that went wide. They commit so many people forward that you need to be smart when you come at them. Don't just attack and counter for the sake of countering. You need to know where to go when you are countering. And if you don't do those things, you're not going to be able to take advantage of Pirates. And Pirates will just beat you literally off of their ability to play games up until the last minute. There's not many teams in the PSL that are able to do that. Now, I will always say that Makgopa and Tito cannot play in the same team because what happens is they crowd each other. So now that Pirates is also adding that part of saying that Mfukeng is going to be sort of half converted into a 10. You see him coming into the middle of the field quite a bit. Oh, thank you, Donat. Good God. You see them coming into the middle of the field a bit. You now see them all crowding, and that means that people need to find space. And when Pirates find space in that situation, they're not coordinated. You'll see Makgopa out on the right-hand side. Bachaisene, Makgopa, his knee hit Mfukeng's face over there. And what happens is that you lose Tito, because Tito goes from being one of the best 10s in the league to becoming one of the better 8s. And then he loses the ball or holds the ball a bit too much, and you miss the magic of him. Now, the trick to playing with Makgopa is what Pirates were doing earlier in the season. Pirates were saying, Makgopa, when you drop back, uDlamini, Umbatha, Mfukeng, Unkota are going to run past you. And then you are going to be tasked with winning the first ball. Oh, header there from Polokwane City cleared off the line by the Pirates players. You are going to have to win the first ball to allow us to have 4 players in attacking situations on transition. That's what Pirates was doing so well earlier in the season when they were winning those games back to back, and they were scoring very early though. There was a point where they missed it, but that's how you play Abo Makgopa. You see what he did with Nkota. Nobody's there centrally. He goes out wide. He plays the 1-2. Nkota goes through. Now it's Nkota versus whichever defender. So you have to understand how to play the players and how to see what the players are seeing. Now, that being said, this could be a game for Umabasa, even though I still feel like Pirates is maybe lacking somebody with the final ball. And maybe that's why I'm a little bit disappointed with Tito, man. Tito, man, giving the ball out. Tito was the regulator of Pirates. He went to go fast, when to go slow, when to release balls, when to do this, when to do that. And with him missing, it's a little bit tough for Pirates to build and play. But credit to both teams. They have come out with some attacking play. You know, earlier on, Chain was forced into some saves from Polokwane City. Pirates was also going hard, trying to get Ubire to make a mistake there in goal. So it's been an entertaining game, but it hasn't been clean. But the question then becomes, Pirates, is this a hangover, Champions League hangover? Is this the same problem that we've been seeing of Pirates for years and years and years and years? That the Pirates is arguably one of the best teams in the country, top 2. But the problem is, when they come into games like this, they lose the games. Polokwane City is not doing anything here that's going to kill the Pirates. But when Pirates doesn't show up, Pirates doesn't show up. Last season, I called them the most emotional team in the league. in that, you know, when it's a random Saturday at Old Peter Mukaba, Gyabanda, we come from a Champions League, we come from what, they tend to not show up for these games. Hopefully they can get something here, or hopefully Polokwane City can get something here, because they're also in need of a little bit of rescuing after slipping down the log. Okay, let's see. Princess Tito is still adapting from recovery. No, Prince. This was happening before. This problem was happening before Tito was on injury. This particular one, where he's playing more as an 8 than a 10, or sometimes they're trying to make him a 6 in some of these games. It was killing him. He needs to be up there. He needs to be with his partner Mfuke. When those two play together, you see magic. But Pirates is not creating enough chances where those two man babonani, badale, bapasani. We're not seeing that much of that happening there. So I disagree a little bit on that side. When Pirates cross far back, there's always number one. Good defending says, okay, why is Mabasa not playing? I don't know. Me, the Mabasa Mahupa thing has been interesting. Let's ask why Lepasa is not playing. Congrats to Polokwane City. Says Papa Khosi, Mahupa doing the Lord's work. Bong says Pirates have found a perfect centre back in CBC Mbogazi. I'd love to see Mbogazi Nda, because this one is good for suffering. But I'd love to see when the playmaker of Pirates Unda comes back, what that's gonna look like. That would be interesting, because we've seen CBC Sesane, I think it was. We've seen Da Sesane, which was a very good centre-back pairing themselves. But these ones fight, which is great. I guess Pirates has that headache of, you know, you have to pick which defense you're going to use for today, because they're all so good at what they do. See us screenshot this. It's a draw. NSD ratio says, will Pirates win today? Queenie says, I want to win this game. It's just now I'm not feeling it. And Queenie, that's what I'm saying. Like, there is a feeling component to Pirates, and I think that's why they're not as consistent in the league, because the league needs you, whether you feel it or you're not feeling it, whether you want to play or you don't want to play. You have to play the game, and you have to see the game out. And Pirates sometimes lacks in that regard at times. Here comes Lamini, here comes Mabasa, as has been requested. Mahopa and Taletembata have been pulled. Hopefully this allows Tito to go back to the 10, and we see from there. Remember, 35k likes, and Spore, who's requesting right now, can jump in and we can have a conversation. My guy Paris will draw. Lord Kambala will do the Lord's work. Lord Kambala only does the Lord's work against Chiefs. Montana. Marco not showing up. Can I be controversial? I think Marco's doing the job that he's meant to be doing. I think Marco is sitting back and being defensive because so many of the other players are pushing forward. So I think that's the role that he's been asked to play today, to be the defensive guy there. So, hey, Mina, yeah. I think if Marco was to push forward, it would be a mess. You'd be going 2v2 most of the time. It would be a mess. Lord Kambala will do the Lord's work. Paris need Mabasa for tap-ins. Understood. Why is it when you have one back game, you call the cow? It's how we are, guys. I see Chiefs are out of the top 8. Maram, pause. Why must you come with this energy? We're having such a nice life. You know, we're speaking about Pirates, we're speaking about why must you mention someone who's playing at 7? Why are you guys watching? Leave us alone, guys. It's hard enough. Leave us alone, please. Ngeke nkosi yami bathake isitaba thong lesheba jwang ma. The problem is Mbata hides, man. Mbata hides. That's my only issue, no Mbata. He hides. Counter. Pirates counter. Pirates counter. Chain, release that ball quickly. Chain, release that ball quickly. Chain. Oh. Van Rooyen not in the game. Leave Chiefs alone. We will win and be back in the top 8. Minangaz, but I just don't want to speak about Chiefs now. There was like a Soraka heart attack hours before the act is meant to happen. Ball, play through. I'm sure the players can hear Mbogazi when he's coming. I'm sure Mbogazi man kichimiza, you just hear the gu and you get scared. What was that? Van Rooyen not in the game, says Mutla. Bong says leave Chiefs alone. Michelle says it's still goalless here. My husband's team is leading 1-0. Kana my husband, hey mar. Kana Michelle, my husband, dikimang. My husband, dikawane. But my husband ba how babangata. Wasn't Mbule one? Was it Mbule? Good work, Mbogazi. Our very own TLP. No, TLP. Hi, TLP, something else. Oh yeah, it is Supersport. Yeah. Yes. Hey man, oh Michelle. I remember when we played dating. Asimbule ke mabu. Kutano says it's a new month. Chiefs will get their monthly win. Guys, Lokhalang Chiefs. The Chiefs is only going to be in action 2.5 hours from now. Please leave Chiefs alone. Long ball. Bona ke uDlamini. Yambona uDlamini. Oh, TLP. Guys, where do you find players like TLP? Pelatinas Petabo Mikel. Where do you find players like TLP? Nabo khoza man. Hey, nathi siyabafuna. Oh, Star G, welcome. Look at Bogazi. What a star. No, he's a star. Oh, need busy na Pirates. Marunga Pirates and then ufage peace and love. Oh, guys. Emakai. Sandra what mo kumakai. Rat ka what overseas. Here comes Pirates again. Don't go high. Don't go high. When you go high, Mfukeng has to do magic. When you go high. Why is Pirates? I understand that there's the midish block happening here. Mara, there was a run happening on the right-hand side. That was perfect. Polokwane is playing it safe, says Musa. Game is opening up nicely, and the threat of counter is proper here. Overseas Kibo Suarez says Papa Hosi. I can't let Zamalek overseas Lola Tabo Suarez. Ibabo Pirates, man, but he's Ghana Pirates has what? In the starting lineup today, even now, they're all South African players, right? Taita says, ask Sundowns about games in hand when we were chasing Vert in 2017. I win. Yellow card. That's a yellow. They're there by DDC. That DDC Cup is not important. What is the point of DDC, guys? I want to ask, what is the point of DDC? Personally, I don't see the point of DDC. I don't. I would take a proper reserve league over DDC. Personally speaking. I would take a reserve league where I know that today the mirror fixture, Abo Mfundo are going to be playing other PSL level players who are maybe in reserve or were injured or coming back from injury or playing at a certain level. I would take that over 19-year-olds playing against each other. And then when they get to the PSL, they're not ready, but it's fine. Spo says he must rest in Phukeng for the week. Put Hoto. Le resta joang while chasing Sundowns. You can't rest while chasing Sundowns. You can't rest. What did I say about Polokwane City players? I mean, yeah, okay, no, you did say. But a development of what, guys? Development of what? How many players have now come out of the DDC proper and within their first season showed that they were ready? Oh! Oh, keeper! There's Patrice's goal. Pirates have scored, guys. Pirates have taken the lead. Let me find it. Pirates have taken the lead. Oh, you mistake. Oh, keeper. Buire. Oh. Oh, keeper. Bamshage bola agalbambu. All panchalala just in front of him. And then it hit Labide and went Kimang Bisen went in. Unfortunately, you can't, Khanye. Unfortunately, you can't write and copyright. Let's see. Yeah, our keeper. Ah. What was that? Went out, didn't catch the ball, into Sbizi. Unfortunately, the Exco had to find a unique way of monetizing under 17. So we have DDC. Yeah, but it's not helping the kids, Tiro. That's my problem with the DDC. I don't think the DDC is helping the kids. I don't think the league is helping the kids because a lot of these kids, you know, you are 19 and no team's taking you and absorbing you. I still say part of the mandate of DDC should be that as the DDC, whether it be the teams or the organization as a whole, they need to be making sure that these kids find landing spaces. The players in the DDC must sign contracts when they're done. Whether it means you find spaces overseas, whether it means you find spaces go NFD, wherever you have to place these players. Have to. But Sundowns were coming, says Sirok. Khoza by keeper. Dankos BC. Didn't DDC help Coco? Coco, you are. I think Coco's just that talented. Provided they're good enough. No. It must be a must. Or make it an under 17. Make DDC under 17. And then when you're 18 and 19, you become a part of an actual reserve team. And then have a reserve league. And have them play fixtures as PSL reserve people. That way you can intermingle them with players that are just over their level in the actual league. So Umfundo is not getting his first touch of the league at Chiefs' first team again. That jump is huge, guys. Over, I think God is a Pirates fan. Oh, agent, it's no longer a Chiefs, God's favorite child, Chiefs. Makopa over Mabasa over Makopa. Biggie, it depends what you want to do, hey? Chiefs must loan McCarthy to the NFD. You see, it's guys like Abu McCarthy that I'm speaking about. It's guys like Abu Zwan that I'm speaking about. I'm just going to mention my team. You know, it's guys like Abu Mfundo that I'm speaking about that their careers have stalled. Umdu was even going back to DDC because they're waiting for game time elsewhere. But anyway, Kichinchile, let's go for Tita. Kichinchile. Chiefs at DDC, we don't have stars in Hlongwane and Budlo. Jose showed you that Hlongwane could be a star. Jose showed you. McCarthy refused the senior contract though. True, but he's still chilling. He's sitting right now. Even that contract situation, Mara, you know what? I don't want to get into trouble. DDC contracts, first team contract. Let me leave it. I don't want to get into trouble. Safa's not willing to take responsibility. I can't blame PSL Exco for taking these dismal decisions. What about Mosimane? He needs to be loaned out or called to the first team. Why did he refuse a first team contract? Agent. Okay, let me ask you. Would you rather be Mfundo, Zwane, Shabalala, or Detergent? But anyway, okay, let's see. We're struggling to manage the game these days. Says Oganobia Stengeza. 71 minutes in, Pirates is 1-0 up. Polokwane City is going to try put as much pressure on Pirates as they can. Here comes a throw-in from the left-hand side of Pirates' defense. Let's see if they can do something here with a long throw. Here comes the long throw. Ow. Long throw niya manonke. Hey. I understand. Agent. Mm-hmm. I don't want to answer. You see what I mean? Is it possible to buy? Definitely man of the match will be Bogas. Here comes a corner. Polokwane has some height, eh? Outside of, obviously, Apolis is short, but Polokwane has some height in comparison to Pirates. They should be peppering that box, man. Vinny missed the penalty. Agent. Caricada. Is it just me or is it Polokwane not the same since Apolis moved to wasn't it denied a move to Chiefs? Wasn't it a move to Chiefs? No, it hasn't been the same. And Coach Pucci, man, he was in the news. He was talking a lot, Coach Pucci, at some point, and I liked him quiet because he could go under the radar. Like, people are looking for jobs now. Osiema got fired easily. I can imagine a Gavin Hunt landing go Polokwane, having had the pedigree, the history of coaching in Limpopo, our coacher Leopards. So hey, he must be careful, that man. Oh, obviously the Europeans that they always bring in. Pirates. You see, Tito Mfukeng. All you need to be doing is putting those two together on the left-hand side. Very simple. Tito. Let them play left. More to the left-hand side by two. You'll see. Playing over, man. Once Pirates score, it's over. Apolis would have done well at Pirates. Apolis is overcooking the crosses, says Musa. A move to Chiefs. Real Madrid conceded. Vitboy is a good replacement for Mfukeng. Will there be time to develop Vitboy with the new coach? Will there be time? This player, number 22, Makubela, he makes some great runs and they always ignore him. Tito Mfukeng at Mabasa, you get goals. Yeah, stop making it hard. Left-hand side. Can't wait to hate watch Chiefs, ne, guys. Isaac. Hey, GNU. Oh, hey, GNU. The Chronicles of the GNU. 35K. Tepang free. If we reach 35K, I leave it open. And people can jump in and give me a minute or two. So, Tepa. Please, Tepa. We're winning this one, says Uprena. Oh! There's the big team stadium. The municipalities said, hey, guys, for the Chiefs, this is not la la la. There it is. World Cup venue. Nkota is completely off. Yeah, there's no supply going up the right-hand side, honestly speaking. Dlamini is a liability when we're marking. What does that mean? You know what? Sale. I like him and I like the sub usually. Oh, is it an injury? Or they're trying to save him from injury? Pirates centre backs are chilling. At the Lord Kambala, do you imagine, says Yogi? To me says Ngati energy. Begole in next game, Lana. I want to use my members privilege. 35k, guys. Members can jump in, but 35k, guys. If you're a member, request. And if you're not a member, send me a DM and I'll tell you how you become one. You played the card.
Yes, I activated the chip. Shalom, my brother. Where you?
I'm still shalom for now. My problem is coming later.
Comedy Central.
Wabona ge.
I just wanted to ask you a simple question. By the way, I have high blood pressure, please. For those who are, whatever I'm about to say is an inside joke. So, is it high time that Masangai moves to Tlankop?
I'm not part of this. I'm not part of this.
I'm just asking that is it high time that he moved to the side? No, man. Because I feel like, yeah, I think it's about time he moved to Tlankop now. Yeah.
Wait, can I ask you something on that point?
Yeah.
It's gonna sound harsh. Is he being moved out?
I think if maybe a new coach is gonna give him a new fresh start. I think this time around he has maybe moved out. If Coach Jose stood or remained for one more season, I would have seen him moving out. You know. Guys, the joke loses its meaning when I have to explain it. No, guys, here's the inside joke. Every time, look, a Pirates player loses his magic at Pirates, he moves to Sundowns. There's a long list of them. Once a player becomes a problematic player at Pirates, they ship him to Sundowns. Cheese Boy, Deko, Lodge. It's an ongoing list. So I feel like Utito has occupied that Lodge spot where he's the big player now, and he's moving into spaces of the young boys. You know. I know it's gonna go out at the radar because Pirates is winning and it's gonna win, but for me, I felt like, yeah.
Mara agent, I'm gonna say again. Someone was moved out before he went that side. All I'm seeing is Mfukeng is the 10. He's coming to the 10. Mahupa's on top. I don't know. Now I feel like there's a way to play Tito and someone's purposefully not doing that. But it's fine.
You mean the deal is already over? No.
We don't know.
No, but as the last thing, I need to say this, and I need to say this.
Now, here's a question.
Now that guys,
please mute when you come in. Please mute when you come in.
That this stadium is not fit to play PSL football, guys. I know Pirates gonna win, and no one's gonna complain about the pitch, but this is not a footballing pitch. No way you are playing a football in this pitch. And secondly, this game is unnecessary. You know, I think there's a long way for PSL teams or for PSL to take CAF serious. You know, what if Rele gets injured here or Endonkot in Masongai and Pirates lose on Tuesday or Wednesday? Who are we gonna blame? So I think this game was very necessary and shouldn't have played. I think as PSL is that need to take CAF as serious as the North Africans if you want to see an all South African derby one day, if not this season. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Let me bring Khupolo. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Uthi my brother, ke sharp jwang?
Man, nna ke monate man. O reng ka game?
Game sharp, agent on khatile di cons. O reng? Tito tle kae? Agent, be careful, man. Be careful, man. We don't need him right now.
Wake mara la banka every day. Ki ba bo lochi le bankile. Bo cheese
Yeah,
boy, bo
Lotchi.
tiko.
A ke go bona Lotchi o tsamaile le ntata ye rulani. Nna ne re sa mtlhoke. Ya, Teko ne re mtlhoka. Le
Okay.
tshwana le gift le Remy ne re mtlhoka.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mara akere lela hore alena ke mang replacement for Zwane ke yo Tito.
Yeah, afithi mo, afithi lukozwane. Akasifithi. We still have a long way to go, mfethu. Yo,
Yeah, le sa
kozwane.
tlhompheha akere.
E tlo re senyetsa nako, ba teng bo letlhako. Tito dlala bola ko strateng, man. We don't want such players ko Sundowns, man.
Okay.
Yeah, o dlala bolo, o sa dlala crowd. La loser o tsa bolo o ibusetsa ko morao, o sa inamela ko dimo. We don't want such players.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need players tse leng gore nka se mo compare
Hey,
le
muta Suza, muta. Oh, okay.
Yeah, agent o nkgatile di-cons, man. Mara ke bogetse Pirates, nna ne ke favor Polokwane fela. Polokwane ka ba tshwara draw ga bjanong, wa bona?
Nna ke dikene, nna ke tsebe, nna ke focusitse for taba tsaka. Mara Khupolo. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ricky KJ box.
Oti?
Ke yo 1-0 man, o reng ka ke?
No man. Before I can gaming, agent and Taiwan. Hell, Kim Sangano straight in Taiwan. No. Kim Sangan. Nana Tito Asylum Sundowns.
Never.
Remember these 4 players. The 2 George Maluleke and George Libes from Kaizer Chiefs. Then over remember Gift Remy Le Opamanis. There were stars in their teams. Vita Sundowns. Dolo. They didn't even perform. Then they were shipped out. So why Babata Honka Tito Elias at Pirates but about to waste? Because Sundowns about everything. So how will other teams even challenge them if Banka everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Tito must just stay at Pirates and become a star. Maybe sooner or later, but that's a pinakaye.
Yeah. Jale Bongs, o reng ka game ena man. 1-0, very slow game. Polokwane didn't show up, o reng ka yona nje.
Pirates have taken control of the game. That 1-0 will help them go far because now it's up to Polokwane City to come to Pirates. And Pirates, they are defending very well so far. They know how they need these 3 points, even if it's 1-0. 3 points is all that counts for them to chase Mamelodi Sundowns. Yeah.
Okay. Let me bring in Piggy.
Yebo.
Piggy uthini ngegame Piggy? O nawe ufuna ukungena le Tito.
Hayi Tito mina ngeke ngingene because Tito is a good player. Whatever he does, I enjoy. But anyway, not the moral. That's not what we are here for. You know, this game is boring.
Yeah.
There's no X factor in this game. And worst part, you don't give other people chances. Like what I said, just imagine, Bob. How are we gonna play the game like he played last game? This guy doesn't know how to turn with the ball. Bob. He doesn't even know how to turn with the ball.
Yeah.
Let's give other people a chance so that we can see something new. Because if we lose tomorrow, who are we going to blame? The same people on the field. Because there's no way that you're gonna even challenge for the league. The league is gone. So we might as well
So
go
you are
for another
saying
league.
just rest the guys for Champions League and
Yeah,
Nedbank and allow the other guys to play these games.
yeah, because the
Okay.
league is gone.
Yeah.
Let's focus on Nedbank and CAF.
Hmm.
Because we won't win the league. But Sundowns, we are the only team that challenges Sundowns. And there's something that was said by Bobby. There's a video that's circulating. There's something that was said by Bobby. You know, Bobby will get something. We are coming for you guys
Yeah.
because of your chairperson. We are coming for you guys.
Who's you guys?
Chiefs. I know you're a Chiefs
Oh,
fan.
okay.
He said something that Rovero is going the next year. Us, we are going to sit down. How? I was like, aye. You know, Bobby has been saying next year for the past 10 years. Next
Yeah.
year. Next year. Next year. I mean, I can tell you something. To build with what you have. Do not buy players, bam. At Chiefs, you don't need players. Build with what you have. So that if you know that you need additions, then you can buy players. But for now, you don't need anyone.
Okay.
You don't need anyone. Nipelele. Yabo. And even Pirates pisses me off. Even the transfer window part. You know the transfer window part? That pissed me off. Because without Tito, we ain't playing. Without Tito, we can't play. Mama. Look at the CAF game. We won, but did we play? No, we did not.
Okay. For time though, I'm gonna jump in. I want to bring in Poza.
Forget the game. Agent guy. You can't give us. You can't. Arpalami Polo Sundowns. Chief, have you seen what Jaden Adams is doing in that position? No, but I'm talking about Pola. It's not what Jomo so no.
Mara ke re tla
No time for
developer.
ends.
Le tla mo thuta hore ba etse jwang.
We have no time for ends, man. The OT. Ageri Jomo Willare, elephant and the end. We have Jaden Adams. We are sorted in that position. Jaden is the future now, a moderator of a football, keeps it moving, contributes to go. What is Tito doing? Next thing, no, Chief, Utolwanela number 10. I mean, Chief, Sundowns, we are serious about the league. Tito must climb on the ball there, and then agent must shire the fleet there. It is okay. We can't be dealing with such things. No. You can't even compare Tito to a prime Teko Mudisi. Do you understand what Baba Teko was something else when he left? Do you understand what Gift Leremi was like when may his soul rest in peace? Death, untimely death.
Yeah.
Imagine Tito na le Jaden Adams. It's like a downgrade, Mus. Re tlo shaka tariff ya Donald Trump o tla bona
Okay,
e se
kupa go botsa. Tito or Sales?
But they play different positions.
Sales likes that number 10 role.
No, but Sales umnati ka bolo. You know the funny thing, I was having a conversation with somebody. If you can give Shaluli the first touch here, Sales, Shasha would be miles away ka di goal.
Yeah.
Mara Shasha should have passed all these goals a long time ago. If you look at the misses he's had, you then go, Booby. But look, I'll still take Sales over Tito any given day. We are serious about football.
Mara Lishusha in piano. Why not bring somebody odalang ma piano sintle, man?
No. Odlala keyboard, adlala amapiano. You know, there's a difference between an organ and a piano. You know, those things are very different. Those things are very, very different over there. You can't be Mutodlala Casio, the other one must play a Yamaha. Those are two different brands that require you know those ones. But no, Tito to Sundowns never.
What time? Let me bring Stachi.
Hello.
Orenka tabe Stachi ya Tito le Sundowns.
Awa, ana ke dumele. A re dumele ba Tito ya go Sundowns.
Yeah.
re ve go batla mane yana gape o baka tita a ya go Sundowns aowa ka ke dumele
Mara ali mudlalisi Tito man. Ali mudlalisi Tito adlali mona man.
wakhala
Yeah.
wakhala
Ay, ke le nga bencha le kenya bo Mfokeng ko 10 le kenya bo Magopa le bo Dlamini le ska dlalisi Tito. Ha tsamaye ko Sundowns man.
tito viti baba maybe tito o na le bothatanyana wa bana
Yeah.
ya
Ke bothata ba saleng.
ma kaleng ma go ba nnete ne kaleng go mo gopotse tsaleng
Yeah.
a bua man
Yeah.
kaleng go mo gopotse man mara ne batho go gaming go na le motho a na galang kako go fele mo gaming
Ke man.
go na le motho a na galang kaka
Ke man.
a ke ke man
Yeah.
le me le batho na go na le motho a na galang kaka awa o gala kaka fela
Okay.
mara
Taji.
ne
Yeah.
ma give me any bar today any bar give me ma khale ka le go ke fe mara today ke tenya no
3 points man.
ya ka wa go ne son yani ka tip ka bana tip ka ya I'm saying
Les ka ntlogele le ska bua ka Chiefs le tla bona ka 7 ay ntlogele sta chi ntlogele badao re ke je koke hey agent dropped the bomb and then he left.
Agent ulahlela amabhoma wrong. Umuntu oya ku-Sundowns ukuthi nje abafuna ukuvuma. Yabona ngibhale lapha phansi. Bayazi iqiniso. Umjito number 14. And siyazi ukuthi number 14 ku-Sundowns ugqoka ubani uTerrence. And uTerrence uyambona nawe lapha kula left back ukuthi ulungu ufikile. Indlela uyayibona uTerrence ukuthi indlela vele ivulekile. So which is number 14 uready straight. Lezi ezinye lezi asiziyeke uJersey number 14 uye lapha neposition yamvuma mawuthi uyabheka neposition kaJersey number 14 lapha iyavuma siyazi ukuthi Ribeiro as a number 10 Jersey number 14 lapha esayidini baqhelaza abayi2 ichayile ngizayibamba lapho ngoJersey number 14 bese ngizigcina
Ngifuna ukuzingena mina ngiright la.
Umjito number 14 abana chance ngiyabona kunini babathembisa bathi awukhona mabaye Algeria bathi awukhona nakule game bathi ukhona nakule game ezayo bazothi awubuyile angeke asabuya guys ngibona next season umjito number 14 ngene game no le game lena le game iPolokwane City to be honest mezo yiwina to be honest the game mevuma ukuthi iPolokwane City iwine. You know, it was very much open. Ama chance mewekhona. Back to lento esikhuluma ngayo, typical South African player. You're getting chances, but you're not converting. And so you're not clinical in the final third. Decision making in the final third. Not just the one udlamini, but nalabantu akadlala nabo in the final third. I think a police uzame ngamandla wakhe wonke, you know. I'm still astonished the way adlala ngakhona a police because awungeke ube so creative. And then udlala nabantu abakudlalisa so but still every game ufuna ukunikeza 100%. It shows something ngwa-police that's very special ngumfana because sithi siyambheka police if a week in week out udlala nabantu abamdlalisa kanje and then aye bafana sinikeze lama performance lawaya angapheli inhliziyo for ibhola lakhe. It must tell you something about him ukuthi a-police uyiplay njani psychologically, how mentally strong he is. I mean bafethu kumele sicabanga ukuthi a-police udlala iPolokwane City but he can match i-pace abantu abadlala i-CAF and then akayidlala i-CAF. He can match i-mentality abantu abadlala e-Europe. I mean a-police mekabheka nabantu abadlala e-Europe lesikhathi adlala i-AFCON. He can match it but akazange akadlali lapha. So it tells you a lot about a-police. So for me na-police ungibonise elinye iside lakhe namhlanje eli very special. Hayi kunya ngeke sisho next. I-TLB ifikile ngiyabona iphakamisa isandla i-TLB ifaka ama-CV sishilo sathi ifuna ukuya kwi-AFCON ngoDisemba ifaka ama-CV ilokuthi nje mqeqeshi uyangibona ngithi mqeqeshi uyangibona
I wonder if we call now. Maybe a really big team in the big stadium, but it's fine. Guys. Orlando Pirates winning 1-0 versus Polokwane City, guys. I will be back at 7 p.m. I will be back at 7. So please, I just have to get everything in order for that game. But this is what separates champions from different teams. This is not a game where Pirates played particularly well. It's not a game where they were clicking all the way. Yes, it was open at some point and going back and forth, but it was people are calling it a boring game. I'm going to say it was a game where it was two teams that, man, it's almost like they understand the status quo and they kept to it. So for me, I think Pirates winning this game tells you everything. And it continues on a thing that I've said to you guys a long time ago. Guti, Le Pirates doesn't have exciting forward play. But what Pirates has been incredible at this season is that when you need a goal, Noma liza kanjani hore le chayisa mang le etsang le fly jwang. They came out and Usibisi put his hand up. Another win for Pirates. I think the last dance continues. But Pirates, could the last dance please be something more, man? Something more. Can you add some, man? Or some fire to it. But anyway, guys, TLP, man of the match. I will see you then. 7 o'clock. I'll be back here. 7 o'clock, I'll be back here. TS Galaxy versus Kaizer Chiefs. Guys, 7 o'clock, guys, remember. Bye, everyone.